So let's look at what is a groups in NSX, right? So group is basically a logical construct where you will add different objects, right? So the objects can be, you know, can be added in two ways. One is via static entry and one is via a dynamic entry. So if you are going with the static entry, then you have options like the object can be either a server name, for example, NS1 here, can be an IP address, a MAC address, or a a logical switch port group that you create. Uh, it can be also a group, right? So it's kind of a nested group or an AD group also. But when you come to a dynamic entry, it can be basically a tag. So that's the most commonly used in the production deployment. Right? So you just assign a VM with a tag, then that can be added into the uh, groups, right? Or it can be a machine name or an OS type. So you have all the options there where you can just add objects to the group depending upon the various options that I mentioned, right? So let's see how you can basically configure this. So you go to the NSX Fabric, the NSX T Manager GUI, then go to the inventory, and in inventory you can see you have various options, right? So you have groups and you have tags. So to add the VMs to the tags, I can do it in different ways. I can either come to the virtual machine directly and edit it and add to a tags, or I can just go and create tags just by clicking like add tags and give a name, like for example, let's say DB, right? And enter the scope. So this is basically tier 1. So it's my DB tier, the database tier, and I can basically assign the virtual uh, machines from here, right? So let's say 122 8.122 is my DB server, so it's S2, and I will just save. And I can also add one VM to the DB server, right? So I'll go to again here and select the virtual machine and add it to basically to the web server. So you can see that the DB has one virtual machine assigned, and the web server also has one virtual machine assigned, right? I can basically assign these tags to a logical switch or segments, right? So I can come to the segments, then I can just edit a segment and then just create a tags here, so that whatever VMs is part of this segment will get the same policy assigned, right? But for this lab, we will just assign it by using a tag and just call the VMs inside the tags. Now I'll go to the groups and I will create basically two groups. For example, I will create this as my DB group and I will set the members. So I will call the tags. So basically to set the members, I have different option. As I told you, I can do it statically, right, by using members. Just assign the VMs that I've been creating in the vCenter, right, or the IP address, or I can choose a MAC address or AD group. But for the dynamic object adding, I have to basically come here to the membership criteria and mention what is the criteria, right? So it's one of them is tag. It can be OS name or computer name. So for this example, I'm using tag, and whatever tag I created will appear here, right? For this is for my DB tier. So I just select the DB tier and apply. And I will save this, and I do the same thing for the web tier also, right? Let's say web, and I'm adding the member web, and I just apply it, save it. So I basically have two groups now, DB and web, and these groups will be used in the distributed firewall policies, right? So this will become basically my source and the destination. So whatever VMs has the tag as an app or a web, it will basically get auto assigned to this group and the policy will be applied, right? So I can just come to the virtual machine and just tag it, and the policy will be automatically applied once I call this group as a part of the firewall. So in the next video, basically we see how to create a distributed firewall and apply these policies and see how the ping will stop once the policy is applied.